What up, people? It's Tony's Timepiece review tonight, Friday, the 24th of February. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Swiss Watch International, World of Watches, Swiss Legend Watches, and Wow TV, World of Watches TV. And I sometimes think about what I'm going to talk about, but sometimes I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to start with a Swiss Legend submersible. Um, Gosh, man, I think this is about a 46 millimeter case. Um, Watch looks cool, you know. I've never worn it. I've had it for a couple of years now. Um, Swiss Legend, Swiss Watch International, Wow TV. Used to have a Wow TV, a host by the name of Jim Skelton, and he used to do a thing with the watches on the crystals, watch crystals, Sapphitech crystals, saying they were basically scratch resistant. He'd take a knife and he'd dig into it, and it wouldn't scratch, you know. So I watched the show a lot, and I bought plenty of watches from them. And this, when it first came out, was like 200 or 300 bucks. And then what Swiss Watch International would do is they debut a watch like Swiss Legend, and it would come out and be like, oh, here's the biggest next thing for, we'll sell it for 100 bucks or whatever, and then a few months later it'd be on sale for like fucking 30 fucking $40 or whatever. It just goes to show that there's just no value in these fucking things. So I actually bought this specifically to do um, what was called the Sapphitech dance that Jim Skelton would do. And I got this thing home, and I took a pen, a tactical pen to it. And I know you can't really see, but I scratched the living fuck out of the crystal. And you can't really see it on this. But I'll tell you what, man, this crystal is all scratched up. I could have sent it back to get replaced or fixed at the time before they went out of business and the company screwed everybody. But I just never did because it's not a watch that I would wear. You know what I mean? Um, but Swiss Legend would make watches that were made in China. Just whatever. The prices weren't bad. I mean, they had Swiss movements in them. So, but this watch itself, I mean, it's a nice looking watch. And they did make some decent watches. So I'm not slamming Swiss Legend per se, but they just tried to be like everybody else. The problem was they were just making watches that were like every other watch. Like to this would be like a U-boat. They've even got the submarine at the bottom above the six. You know, but then again, I think I paid 30 bucks for this watch, and I think initially when this first aired, it was about $200. So it went from like $199 to 30 bucks. They just made watches. There's just no value to these fucking things. So anybody who owns a Swiss Legend you're just shit out of luck. The company's out of business now. Then they came out with Swiss-made versions, watches that were made in Switzerland. You know what? I can't even see this, so I don't even know what model it was. But this is one of their Swiss-made watches. Kind of has a little bit of an Omega feel to it, about a 46 millimeter case. Um, Decent watch. This has a sapphire crystal. When this came out, I think it was around $300. I think I paid around, I can't really remember, just a little over 100 bucks. So these, I mean, these are basically just low end with high. I mean, it just goes to show that you could make a watch for $100 that costs 100 bucks with high end parts. Like for instance, it has a sapphire crystal, 316L stainless steel. So there's nothing wrong with these watches. I just, I mean, fuck. Swiss Legend, dude. Swiss Watch International made some bad business decisions. They fucking went out of business when they shouldn't have. They owned Lucien Picard, Ben and Sons, Redline, So, but they were just making really fucking cheap brands and trying to imitate high end brands, And sometimes it works, and it works for the people that wish they had a fucking, Bell and Ross, you know, their Ben and Sons model, you know, were basically they ripped off the logo of Bell and Ross, and they're selling watches for 40-50 bucks that they're not throwaway watches. I mean, they last a long time. They had a pretty high warranty on them, but I guess the warranty doesn't matter when the company's out of business. Swiss Watch International, man, they had a show called Wow TV on DirecTV. It was all over the place, and they just, whatever happened, man, they offered all this warranty. They offered a lot of stuff, man. I bought a lot of watches from them, and I bought a lot of good watches from them, and I had a friend of mine, and I say a friend of mine, I don't know her personally, as we've never met, but she was the host of the show. And her name was Megan Harris, and she was honest. She came across like a good person, and I developed a relationship with her via email and whatever. And she helped me out when certain watches were certain prices, and then the price reduced, and then uh, so Megan was really fucking cool, but. What they would do is they would sell watches on Saturdays and Sundays on their TV show, and it would be like at a low price, but then back during the week their prices would be high. You had to really watch their website to see what prices were which, because you could buy a watch if you were interested in, say, a Maurice Lacroix that would go for $2,000. You'd go, well, shit, I want to buy that at $2,000. But then if you watched the show, it might be on sale for $900, and then you're kind of getting ripped off, but you're kind of not, because it's like, well, it's hard to explain, because let's just say, for instance, this watch was $200, all right, Monday through Friday, and you go, I want to buy this watch, but you know nothing about the company, but then on Saturday and Sunday the watch is on sale for $50. You just kind of got ripped off, because if they could sell this watch for $50, then why aren't they doing it 7 days a week? Well, it's just what it is. There's a reason why they're out of business. It sucks because there was a lot of people that bought watches from World Watches, and they ripped off a lot of people, man. They, including myself, man. I had a lot of points saved up to where I was getting massive amounts of discount because of the amount of money I've spent. And then I ordered a watch from them, and they basically just took my money. It was done. Some people, they had offered 30-day money back guarantee, so people that had bought their watch, if you didn't like it and you sent it back, it was getting returned back to them because the company went out of business. So it really sucks that this happened. World of Watches and World of Watches TV, it was a good outlet for me, man. It was everything I liked on a Saturday and Sunday as far as TV goes, between 3 and 6. Then what they did was they went from 3 to 6 to 4 to 6, and what had happened was in mid-January, employees went into work on the Monday, and they were told that's their last day. So apparently they couldn't get their financing. They were looking for additional financing. People that had already financed them basically asked for their assets, and that was it, man. Everyone got laid off, man. So it really fucking sucks that all those people lost their jobs. At the same time, is the way they managed the business was really fucked up. So I guess my point is that there's a lot of people stuck with Swiss Legend watches, Bell and Ross, Redline, Lucien Picard. Yeah, now this whole company's defunct, and you got watches that aren't worth jack shit. Not that they were worth jack shit anyway. You got to buy them because you like them. If you really like the watch, then cool, wear it, and that doesn't mean anything. But you've got these watches now that are, you know, ain't worth shit, you know. So I got two of them. Lucky for me, I've only got two of them, because I bought these just because I bought this one specifically because I wanted to scratch the fuck out of it. Um, when that Jim Skeleton guy said you couldn't scratch him up, so I scratched the fuck out of this, and then I bought this one just because I thought it was kind of cool. Swiss made, Swiss legend. I don't wear it because I just can't see the hands. You know, it's one of those things. It's like I need my reading glasses, but other than that, World of Watches sucks. You went out of World of Watches TV sucks. You went out of business. Swiss Watch International, it sucks. You were closed down. Mismanagement and you know, kind of almost going on the scammier side of things, and I don't think that has to do with the host of the TV show. I just think it's got something to do with, you know, upper management. You know, you get people in there that don't know anything about the business, and they can't get financing. I don't know exactly what went wrong completely, but that's what happened. So that's my point of view on SWI, World of Watches, WOW TV. So fuck you for ripping off a lot of people. It really sucks that the higher ups did that, man, including myself. Actually, I don't really give a fuck. I had some watches on order that didn't show up, and my orders were canceled, and I lost a few $100. But you know, that's not something I'm stressed out about. I really don't give a shit. But there are a lot of people that don't have a few $100s to lose. You know, they save up a lot of fucking money, you know, to be able to buy a watch, and then you guys fucked them, you know. So the thing is, whether or not the company went out of business, the higher ups that shut this shit down should have honored the people that order these watches, not take their money. So on that note, another fucking swig of beer. Fuck you, SWI. And I'm watching a bunch of fucking heavy metal videos on MTV too. So that's it. Later.